Hello everyone, my name is Katerina Alexeyenka. I'm a librarian from Lviv, Ukraine, and today we want to present you this video. This video is a collaboration between the Liverpool Central Library and the charity fund library country, and this is presentation poems from Ukrainian author and from English author, and I hope you enjoy this video, and we will be so happy if you put like and share this video. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Pauline Scotland and I'm representing Liverpool Libraries for this poetry event. So it's an honour to be involved with this collaboration with Ukrainian libraries. The poems we've selected have been chosen by library staff and they're going to be read by staff from Liverpool Central Library. So some of them were chosen because of a personal connection, and of course we had to put some Shakespeare in there. I hope you enjoy our readings and I'm really looking forward to the readings from Ukraine. Please like this video and share this video. Thank you.
Світлячки. Небо заходу заревом міниться, а на півдні ракетами світиться, і спадають із неба зорями душі в темінь степів зораних. Світлячками летять на небо, щоб служити й на небі, як треба. За любов, за дітей, за свободу, за майбутнє українського роду. Чорним попелом встелено всюди. Скрізь лежать одноразові люди, а у дірах очах сніжинки. Смерть справляє холодні обжинки. Вони везли її українцям, хизувалися силою й міцю, на броні малювали знаки. Де ж убогим було знати, що у смерті немає рідних? Усі смертні, усі рівні. Їй брехнею очей не закрити, вона знає, кого косити. В кривій посмішці скалила зуби, та все сіяла трупи, трупи. Пронеслася смерчем гульвісою, не витримувало навіть залізо. Тут, в окопі, вони пліч-опліч. Смерть, солдати і зоряна ніч. Доки смерть торохтіла кістками, наче постріл дзвінок від мами. Як радар серце чує лихо. Що, рідненька? Та ні, в нас тут тихо.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou oust, nor shall death brag, thou wanderest in his shade, when eternal lands to time thou growst. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and gives life to thee.
Коли закінчиться війна. Я хочу, щоб прийшла весна, нарешті зникли всі тривоги, щоб закінчилася війна і пролунало перемога. Коли настануть мирні дні, і ми побачимо чисте небо, обличчя згинуть всі сумні, і буде все у нас як треба. Коли закінчиться війна, ми відбудуємо все довкола, запам'ятаємо імена тих, що не вернуться ніколи. Не хочу бачити ракет, щоб не лякатися від гулу, лише почути раз салют, щоб землю оживить змертвілу. Коли завершаться бої, то діти знов підуть до школи, а наші рідні солов'ї їх співом проведуть поволі. Коли очиститься земля і Україна стане вільна, нехай ніколи москаля нога не ступить божевільна. Коли закінчиться війна, проїдемо всю Україну, Олешки, Буча, Кремінна, і завітаємо до Криму. Ми знаємо вже, яка ціна досягнутого цього миру. У всіх лиш мрія є одна – подяку виразити щиро.
Don't Quit by Edgar A. Guest from a collection of poems, Don't Quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and debts are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won if he'd stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow, you might succeed with another blow. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night slipped down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are, it may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit, it's when things seem worst that you mustn't quit.
Не питай мене, як я. Спитай мене щось просте. Подивися, моє волосся тепер так швидко росте, ніби має окрему, цілком конкретну мету. Коли все це скінчиться, я ним тебе оплету. Не кажи мені, як ти, щось легше скажи мені, адже кожен, навіть найменший камінь у цій війні обернувся на зброю, щоб боронити своє. Не кажи мені, як це, бо це все, що у тебе є. Коли дзвін б'є на сполох, ударна хвиля під дих, навіть мертві з землі цієї встають за своїх живих, і як вони виють тоскно голосами нічних сирен, не кажи мені, бо для такого навіть нема імен. Бо для такого немає ні часу, ні місця, ані вимірів, ані сфер, але все це все одно відбувається просто тут і тепер, серед затишних ринків, шкільних дворів, приміських забудов. І все, що після такого може зцілити, то хіба любов? Любов зможе стулити докупи розчахнуті ран краї. зможе живити собою потужні ріки та ручаї, зможе змити нару, оплакати щедро кожну пролиту кров. Але поки це все не скінчиться, не кажи мені про любов. Краще, допоки зблиски нічні змінює передранкова синь, взагалі нічого не кажи мені. Відпочинь.
Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run, to bend with apple the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more and still more, later flowers for the bees, till they think warm days will never cease, for summer has overbrimmed their clammy cells. Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store? Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, or in a half-reaped furrow sound asleep, drowse with the fume of poppies, while thy hook spares the next swath and all its twined flowers. And sometimes, like a gleaner, thou dost keep steady thy laden head across a brook, or by a side press with patient look, thou watchest the last oozings hours by hours. Where are the songs of spring? Aye, where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. While barred clouds bloom the soft dying day, and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue. Then, in a wailful choir, the small gnats mourn among the river sallows, borne aloft or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. Full-grown lambs loud bleat from hilly bourne, hedge crickets sing, and now, with treble soft, the redbreast whistles from a garden croft, and gathering swallows twitter in the skies.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your aim, if you can think and not make thoughts your master, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
So Matilda told such dreadful lies, it made one gasp and stretch one's eyes. Her auntie from her earliest youth had kept a strict regard for truth, had attempted to believe Matilda, the effort very nearly killed her, and would have done so had not she discovered this infirmity. For once towards the close of day, Matilda, growing tired of play, finding she was left alone, went tiptoe to the telephone and summoned the immediate aid of London's noble fire brigade. Within an hour the gallant band were pouring in on every hand, from Putney, Hackney Downs and Bow, with courage high and hearts aglow. They galloped roaring through the town, Matilda's house is burning down. Inspired by British cheers and loud proceedings from the frenzied crowd, they ran their ladders through a score of windows on the ballroom floor and took particular pains to both. There were pictures up and down the house until Matilda's aunt succeeded in showing them they were not needed, and even then she had to pay to get the men to go away. It happened that a few weeks later her aunt was off to the theatre to see that interesting play, The Second Mrs. Tanqueray. She had refused to take her niece to hear this entertaining piece, a deprivation just and wise to punish her for telling lies. That night a fire did break out. You should have heard Matilda shout. You should have heard her scream and bawl and throw the window up and call to people passing in the street. The rapidly increasing heat encouraging her to obtain their confidence, but all in vain. But every time she shouted, "Fire!" they only answered, "Little liar." And therefore when her aunt returned, Matilda and the house were burned.
Please look at this portrait. There are our Ukrainian writers. All of them were suffered by the Soviet Union regime. And just look at these faces. There are faces of freedom and creativity and dignity. Олена Теліга. Чужа весна. Десь цілком недалеко засліплює світло, десь ридають трамваї і мучаться авто. Але тут, в синіх сутінках, тиша заквітла, а за сонними вікнами блимає нафта. Я піду, як звичайно, порожнім провулком, бо мене обійматиме вітер весняний. Мої кроки і серця застукають гулко, і тебе я зустріну, як завжди, незнаний. Ти для мене чужий, не з єдиного краю, а тому не затерти поплутані межі. Тільки подмухів теплих розбещена зграя все б хотіла спалить у весняній пожежі. А потім серед ночі в маленькій кімнаті, може, мріяти будеш про радісну близькість. Тільки я мушу твердо і безжалісно знати, що не зродиться полум'я з вогнених блисків.
A stranger called this morning, dressed all in black and grey, put every sound into a bag and carried them away. The whistling of the kettle, the turning of the lock, the purring of the kitten, the ticking of the clock, the popping of the toaster, the crunching of the flakes. When you spread the marmalade, the scraping noise it makes, the hissing of the frying pan, the ticking of the grill, the bubbling of the bathtub as it starts to fill, the drumming of the raindrops on the window pane, when you do the washing up, the gurgle down the drain, the crying of the baby, the squeaking of the chair, the swishing of the curtain, the creaking of the stair. A stranger called this morning, he didn't leave his name, left us only silence. Life will never be the same.
When I am an old woman, I shall wear purple, with a red hat which doesn't go and doesn't suit me, and I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves and satin sandals, and say, we've no money for butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I'm tired, and and gobble up samples in shops and press alarm bells and run my stick along the public railings and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out in my slippers in the rain and pick flowers in other people's gardens and learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts and grow more fat and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go, or only bread and pickle for a week, and hoard pens and pencils and beer mats and things in boxes. But now we must have clothes to keep us dry and pay our rent and not swear in the street and set a good example to the children. We must have friends to dinner and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now, so people who know me are not too shocked and surprised when suddenly I am old and start to wear purple.
Поки всі сплять. Поки всі сплять, поки сонце іще не зайшло. Гине вогонь, догоряє остання лампада. Де той літак, що світанком візьме на крило? І понесе там, де небо, тепло і зорепаде? Поки всі сплять, поки тиша скрипить за вікном, холод весни заповзає в кімнату над ранням. Де той вокзал, що покличе сигнальним гудком і проведе між одвічним вперше і востаннє? Поки всі сплять, поки сон обіймає рідню, в світлі вогню ти лиш чутно виходиш з кімнати. Сонце встає, іде назустріч наступному дню, а літаки й паротяги чекають команди рушати.
Between the... Ладно, записую, я посмію, Юра, хай туди сміятись. Окей. Hello, почекай.